Morning world, and welcome to a super smashing lovely Saturday, 1st of June. Right, a little bit of a late start for me today. It's 9 o'clock. Two reasons for that. One, there's not a massive amount to do, and the work I want to do, I kind of like a bit of the dew to get off the ground first. And two, well, Mrs. P isn't feeling very well this morning. She's got a migraine, feeling a little bit delicate, so I stayed in with her for an extra hour. So, right then, where should we start? Every day now for the last, well, 2 or 3 days, I've heard people mowing over there, people mowing over there, people mowing up over there. Everybody's mowing like mad. They're all making silage. And that's fine, because the weather's been spot on and the moisture in the ground doesn't matter. They can carry on, make their silage, and I wish them all well. For me though, I don't want to make silage, I want to make hay. And for that, I need the ground to be a bit drier. Not only that, I'm waiting a bit. The hay we made last year, this is stuff made from home, so this is a little bit later, but most of the hay that we made last year and bought back from Tudor Farm, I cut in the last week of June. And it was, I think, partially responsible for us having such loose, wet cattle and sloppy poo. I think it was full of sugar. I think it was just a bit too good. Now, if I was feeding that to dairy cows that were producing loads and loads of milk, etc., etc., that probably would have been okay, because they would have absorbed all that sugar and all that goodness and turned it into product. But for the Dexters, especially these guys, even though a couple of them turned out they were pregnant, it was just going through them and scrubbing them out and making them loose. So hay is normally made a bit later. I think I made a mistake making it in May last year. So we're going to go for second half of June, quite possibly the end of June, because 22nd, 23rd, I'm in Scotland. So it's quite likely that I'm not going to make any fodder this year until after I come back from my Scotland trip. Now, we've got a lot of grass, and a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you're going to lose a lot of the nutritional value of that because it's going to go on to seed, which is true. But I think with a lot of our modern breeds of cattle, that might be a bit of an issue. But again, with these fellas, Dexters will thrive. You can put them on the roughest pasture, a hill, anywhere, a real rough ground, and they'll do on it. So I just think that these old breed cattle don't really require all this sugar and goodness that the modern breeds do. So, because, yeah, they're pregnant, but they're in cracking condition. And I think the only reason they firmed up now, hello girls, is because they've got big calves in them. And they're putting all this energy into the calves. Aren't you? Eh? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's my theory. Right, so we've been grazing now for a couple of weeks out on the avenue. I've got my tractor back from TH White's. Now the brakes have been done. They've eaten 80% of the good stuff out there, and they're ready to move. They want to move. So what we're going to do today is we're going to open this gate in here and let them into this top paddock and just let them have that. And then tomorrow they can have the next paddock, and then the day after they can have the next paddock. And they'll have, out of there, they'll probably have about 5 days of grazing over that piece of ground out there. and then I'm gonna possibly let them into one of the bottom grounds, or here's plan B. The two bottom grounds, if I don't let the cattle in there, as originally intended, I could make hay on that. Hay here at home, which is nice to do. And you're gonna say, well, what are you gonna feed the cattle on? Well, to some of you, this might sound counterintuitive because it's already made. And the cheapest way to feed your animals is to graze it straight off the field. By far the cheapest. But I've got a load of that left. I've also got a load of this left. And I've got another 60 odd bales over at the farm. Well, if there's that much grass around this year, this is going to end up going to waste. And how am I going to get rid of it? Plus, if I make as much hay as I think we're going to make, which is going to be quite a lot, I think even on the first cut this year, we're going to get most of what we need. Plus what we've already got in the barn, and we've always got the chance of a second cut and wrapping if we want to. What would you do? This is last year's silage, nothing wrong with it. I could feed that, supplementary feed the cattle now, so leave them with the avenue and the golf course. Just leave them out there. But also give them this. Get rid of all the old stuff that I got way too much of, and fill the barn up with all new stuff, which is hay, not silage. At least I hope it's going to be hay. And then we go into this winter with a barn full of fresh grub. And to my logic, that just seems, well, logical. So I'm going to do a little test. I'm going to take one of those bales and one of those bales, unwrap them, put them in that feeder in there, and just see what happens. Will they eat it? Will they not? If they don't touch it, I'm kind of wasting my time. I'll just be wasting the bales. But for the sake of two, which I can afford to lose, we'll put two in there. We'll see which one they eat first. I think it's going to be that one because it's a bit softer, but you never know. Which one they eat first, how fast they get through it, etc., etc. And then, depending on the results of that little test, that will determine quite how I manage the grass here for the next couple of months. Because don't forget, if we get a clear TB test in July, that gives me freedom then to take some of my cattle from here and take them to the farm. But that's only if we get a clear test. So I'm still dealing with ifs and buts, and I don't know. Could I, can I, should I? Yeah. Yeah, see what I mean? It's not an exact science, this. This is kind of, I'm making this up as I go along, and then just thinking of how I can make best use of the resources I got, which is basically, if we've got those two bottom fields down there, we will have about 18 acres of grass to make into hay here, with the high potential of a second cut of pigeon mead, because that's a new lay. So that makes it 28 acres of grass here. Second cut might be wrapped if it's late, if I have no choice. Plus we've got another 12, 22, about 30 acres of grass to make over there. So, and everything's got a good crop on it. There's plenty of it. So 60 acres of hay I can make. If the weather's right and everything goes to plan, I think we're going to be all right. Right, I'm going to shut that because I wouldn't be surprised if the minute they hear the skid steer, they're going to come bawling up here. So, because they spend an awful lot of time in this yard bawling. Now, is it because they want a bale? Well, we're going to find out. Okay, so before I take the bucket off, I got a load of wood chips to push up. So we finished Marwood School yesterday, and I think there was three, 4 loads of wood chip to come back from there. So the pile, as you can see, the baby rabbit, the pile is recovering. I'll drop that off, put the spikes on. Not sure why you're there. I don't remember putting that there. Actually, before I put the spike on, I'm just going to clear out the headstock because it's a bit congested with caca in there. Sometimes I can go weeks without having to do this. Sometimes it's hours. Kind of depends who's driving the machine, so. That's that done. We'll shake the last little bit out of there. The only way to get every last bit is to get the steam cleaner out, which I haven't got time to do, and I'm not inclined to do, so we got most of it. Grab a couple of bales. Oh, we've piqued some interest in there, right? So we'll have that one, the one that Richard hit with my truck today. Apparently it's my truck's fault because the truck's longer than his. So yeah. See what I mean? They're on grass. I'm putting them a bale of, well, that's sort of haylage, silage in, and they're already queuing at the gate to come in. That don't make sense to me. It's not like they got nothing to eat out there. They still got plenty to eat. I think they're bored with the grass. So that was a bale made here last year. We'll go and grab one of the bales that I made. I think these here were the ones that came from Regis. So yeah, let's see which they prefer. Homegrown or a bit of swamp grass. That good, to be honest. We'll see. It might just be because it's been in the sun, so we'll find out when we open it up. It feels hard enough. It's not like it's a soft bale. Well, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe I just got a slightly manky bit on the corner. I think the bale's okay. Yeah, it's just that little patch there. So far. Right. Okay. Well, nothing ventured. I don't think I've ever fed bales in June before. ever. So this is a first for me. But look at what queued up at the gate there. Be interested to see what happens when I open the gate. So it's a bit of caca in front of me pedals. It's one of those things, if you don't clean it out periodically as you see it, it builds up and then all of a sudden you can't press the pedal forward. So I've noticed something. Remember last year we were having issues with this thing cutting out and that. Over the winter months hardly happened at all. But now it's started again. It's got something to do with temperature. Because it only happens when it's warm. Right. Shall we see what happens when we open the gate? Are they going to go straight for that? Right, well I want to open it outwards, so you're going to have to step back. Step back. Go on. Back up, back up. Back it up. Go on, back it up. Stick it in reverse. No, backwards, not sideways, you daft creature. Go on. Well, I think there was a bit of novelty in that. Oh, he's put a bale in there, and then you looked at it and go, not so sure. Some of them were wandered off with a mouthful, but I think they are going to eat it. I don't think they're quite as keen when they got to it as they thought they were when they were outside the gate, if you know what I mean. It's not fresh grass, is it? No. The old tiger strikes there. It's kind of a half red, half black. Shut up, you. Right, well, whatever happens now, the cattle cannot complain that they're hungry. They're hungry, so we'll see how long that lasts. If it only lasts 2 days, then there's either a problem with my grass, as it doesn't taste very nice. Well, that says to me that maybe we need to put a dressing on there with a bit of sodium, a bit of sugar, or they're just being really, really fussy. So, but at the moment, it seems that Reg's grass, the coarse stuff, is more popular than our nice fine stuff. Although someone's into it because they're knocking it about. Maybe it's just down to choice and taste. Is that right, is it? Right, let's put topper on. Go and cut some grass. Well, actually, I want to cut some buttercups. That's what I want to cut. Buttercups.